Just a short time ago, the Apple Mac Mini M4 was widely seen as one of the best value desktops Apple had ever released. A compact machine with serious performance, low power consumption, and a price that undercut almost everything else in its class. For creators, developers, and even casual users, it felt like a rare moment where Apple pricing and performance actually made sense together. But recently, the situation around it has started to shift in a way that feels unusual for a product this new. Availability is tightening. Certain configurations are showing wait times stretching into weeks, sometimes even longer. At the same time, pricing has quietly moved upward in some regions and retailers. That combination alone is enough to change how people view a value machine. Because once a product stops being instantly available at its original price, the entire buying decision starts to look different. And then there's the bigger factor sitting just ahead, the next generation. The rumored Apple Mac Mini M5 is already shaping expectations, especially after what we've seen from the latest Apple Silicon laptops. If Apple follows the same pattern, the M5 desktop chip won't be a radical CPU leap, but it doesn't need to be. Most expectations point toward modest CPU gains, likely in the 10 to 15% range. That translates to slightly faster exports, quicker app launches, and smoother general responsiveness. But realistically, the M4 generation already pushed performance so far ahead for everyday tasks that CPU improvements alone don't change the experience much. Where things start to get more interesting is the GPU side. Rumors suggest the M5 could deliver a much larger jump in graphics performance, potentially around 25 to 30% or more depending on workload. That matters because modern computing isn't just about CPU anymore. It's increasingly driven by GPU-heavy tasks like video editing, AI tools, real-time effects, and 3D rendering. Applications like DaVinci Resolve, Blender, and machine learning workflows benefit far more from GPU gains than small CPU bumps. That's also where Apple's direction becomes clearer. The next Mac Mini generation may be one of the first times Apple explicitly treats AI workloads as a core performance target rather than a secondary feature. That includes on-device models, image processing, voice tools, and creative AI features that rely heavily on GPU acceleration and the neural engine. Memory bandwidth is another key piece of the puzzle. The unified memory architecture already gives Apple Silicon a strong advantage, but each generation tends to push bandwidth higher. That directly impacts multitasking, large project editing, AI workloads, and anything that moves large amounts of data between CPU, GPU, and memory. There's also ongoing speculation about connectivity upgrades like faster external storage support and possibly next-generation Thunderbolt improvements. For creators using multiple displays, high-speed SSDs, and external GPUs or capture devices, those changes matter just as much as raw chip performance. One of the reasons the Mac Mini line keeps getting attention in these discussions is its thermal advantage. Unlike ultra-thin laptops such as the Apple MacBook Air M4, the Mac Mini has active cooling. That allows it to sustain performance for longer periods without throttling. For workloads like long video renders or AI processing tasks, sustained performance often matters more than peak benchmarks. And that leads to a broader point: efficiency. Apple Silicon has consistently redefined performance per watt, and each generation pushes that further. The Mac Mini already delivers workstation-level capability at a fraction of the power draw of traditional desktops. The expectation for the M5 isn't just faster, it's more capable without using more power. Lower heat, quieter operation, and better sustained workloads all matter as much as raw speed. But this is where Apple might be entering a tricky phase. The M4 Mac Mini is already good enough for a huge number of users. For everyday workflows, browsing, office work, light editing, it doesn't feel limited at all. That creates a problem for the next generation. Incremental upgrades are harder to justify. So the M5 generation likely needs to lean into new areas, especially GPU acceleration and AI workflows, to feel meaningful. Which brings the decision back to the current situation. If you need a machine right now, the M4 Mac Mini is still one of the strongest compact desktops available. But with rising prices, tightening availability, and a next-generation chip already on the horizon, the usual buy now or wait question becomes less obvious than it used to be. Because this time, waiting doesn't just mean a small spec bump. It might mean a shift in what the Mac Mini is actually designed to do.